Hello and welcome to Carla Knits. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, and always all of the yarny goodness that I love. Today is Tuesday, October 14th, and I'm coming to you from my home in Nebraska. We have a very dreary, rainy day today. It's very cozy feeling, so I love it. It's starting to feel like fall here. Welcome to all new and returning viewers. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me following along on my crafty adventures. All of the places you can find me, as well as show notes for patterns and yarns, are linked in the show notes down below. We have a make-along going on in the Carla Knits Ravelry group. This is the Cozy Fall Along, was started on September 15th and goes through the end of November. This is to make anything that you think of as cozy. Works in progress are allowed. So many of you have been working on projects. I love it. I will be including pictures from the latest batch of projects that have come up on Ravelry. I haven't been really good about checking every day. There was one day I got on and I saw that there were 57 posts. So, but I do go through and I read everything and I do look at all of your beautiful projects. So if you'd like to join along, there's still plenty of time, a month and a half to join in. So sweaters, socks, cowls, hats, really anything that you think of as cozy. You might still be making gifts for people for the upcoming holidays, and if you think of them as cozy, go ahead and include those in. So we'd love to have you join with us in the Cozy Fall Along. The mini skein swap, which is going on in our Ravelry group, partners, you should have been in contact with who you were paired up with, and you should be winding those mini skeins and getting ready to send those out at the very end of this month, no later than November 1st. So I appreciate those of you who have reached out to me with some concerns. I think we have everything addressed in that group, but if you have any questions or concerns about that swap, please feel free to message me on Ravelry. All right, well, we will get into why you're here, all of the knitting and yarny goodness. I have one finished object. I have a couple of finished objects, but my biggest one is my ghost hat, which I absolutely love. This is a pattern by Nicole Vanderlee, and it's called Around It Ghosts. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I used yarn from a kit from Winterberries Yarn. The darker color is North Country Nights, and the lighter pink, blushy pink, dusty pink is Winter Rose. And it came with this fantastic pom-pom, which I just love. I'm not going to put it on. I know I put it on for the thumbnail picture, but because of the rain, my hair is frizzy enough, and so I'm just not going to do that. You guys don't need to see my hair even more frizzy. But this is a colorwork hat. I added more length here because it would have been much shorter than I would have liked it. It was designed more as a beanie style, but I wanted it more as a hat style. So it does cover my ears. It has some slouch in the back, and it fits very well. I'm excited to have this for this month. I'm hoping the weather continues to get a little cooler. We aren't going to be around for Halloween, but we will be traveling, so I think I can wear it that day still. I think that'll be fun. But a very, very nice pattern, very easy to follow, and I love this yarn kit from Winterberries, so I could see myself ordering more yarn kits, and they have lots of different yarn kits there. So I will link them in the show notes down below. And speaking of hats, last episode I shared the candy corn hat that I finished, and I did send it to my mom. So I'm going to insert a picture here of my mom modeling her hat. We FaceTimed on Saturday, and I asked her, she had just gotten the hat on Saturday, so I asked her to send a picture so you guys could see. So hi Mom, if you're watching. So now we have our Halloween hats, Mom. Too bad we can't be together modeling them, but I think she'll probably wear hers when she goes to work at a daycare, and that will be fun. All right, a couple small finished objects. I have these pumpkin coasters. I was inspired by Luann, who is textile grad on Ravelry. She made these pumpkin coasters, and this yarn, I was just in love with the yarn when I saw it in her coasters. So this yarn is, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, Nako Elina. It's by Plymouth, and this color is 32787 Bonfire. This is a 100% cotton. To me, it feels very much like Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. It's a very nice, soft cotton. So the pumpkin coaster, it's called Pumpkin Coaster by Angeline Ott. A free pattern on Ravelry. I don't know if I already said that, but I actually made 3 of them. And one I just sent out in the mail today with part of a birthday gift. So they do change. Some are more, my other one that I sent out was more goldish in the center, but I have plenty of yarn to make some more. I just spent part of a Saturday morning making these, and it was really fun. I did not have a good green to go. I really wanted a cool green stem for the top, but I chose a brown color, kind of a caramely brown from Knit Picks. And then this is, I think, Antique Cream, and that is, I love this cotton by Hobby Lobby. But I really like how these turned out, and they were really, really quick to make. So a cute fall thing for your home or to gift to a friend. All right, I have one half object to share with you today. It is a sock. I had started it and shared it in the last podcast. So where that little owl stitch marker was, that is as much as I had last time, and so I have managed to complete the sock. This yarn is just so autumnal. It just I think it just encompasses all things fall, leaves, pumpkins. I just love it. It just screams like crisp fall leaves and pumpkins, and you know, anything that you think of with pumpkin smells. I just love this yarn. This is by Melissa of Bella Fio Yarns in the Deadwood colorway. This is, I believe she solar dyed this, and I used a contrasting color for my toe, which I think worked really well. It picked up some of the dusty plummy purple that was in the sock yarn. This, I believe, as best I can remember, is a leftover that I had from Woolberry Fiber Co. From many years ago, but I think it looks really nice. So absolutely love this yarn. I have enjoyed working with it so much. I should tell you, when I got to the heel flap and gusset, I don't know what I was doing. I think I had forgotten how to SSK on a sock, slip knit, and I was doing something completely different, and I had huge gaps, a huge ladder, and I was just like, how many socks have I knit? I know how to knit socks. Why is this happening? So maybe I was really tired and just not thinking, but I ripped out part of, I just had part of the heel flap done, and tried it again. And then it turned out just fine. So, so a little bit of a sock mishap, operator error here, but the yarn is absolutely beautiful. And that leads us into works in progress. So I have the other sock started in this fun leaf bag from J&J Craft Company, who I will link her shop down below. And this is as much as I have on the second sock. So I am done with the cuff, which I'm really happy about. And now I just get to do stockinette knitting. And yeah, so just very comfort knitting with the stockinette knitting. So I will be taking this to the library today. I have my knitting group, and this will be fun just to knit away on while chatting with my knitting group. So that is my first work in progress. Moving on, let's see, second work in progress. Let me check my bags here. I think this is it. Yes. So this isn't a bag by Three Goobers on Etsy, who I don't believe is selling anymore, but I have a couple of her bags. So cute for the Halloween month. The project that is in here is what I am calling my Downton Cowl. This is based on a pattern by Joanna Johnson called the Monet Sampler. This is for 10 20-gram mini skeins, and each of the 10 sections is a different stitch pattern. So I was almost, well, I guess you can see where I was last time. So through the second part of the second section. So I've done the third section, and you can see how it's kind of bulging out. So that's just the way of this stitch pattern. And then I have the fourth one. So blocking is going to do wonders in relaxing everything out and opening up the stitches, and I can stretch it more so that that purpley section will hopefully lay a little better. I don't know if you can see all the beautiful texture in it. I sure hope so. So far, I think I have enjoyed this section the most. I believe this was the acorn stitch, and this was just really fun to make. And I have started on the fifth section. It's just barely there, and it's with a really dark navy, and there's got other colors. There's other colors, blacks, and a deep burgundy in there. And the rest of the minis are in this bag. Sorry, I'm not going to pull them all out, but I'm looking forward to using some of these bright colors. So I'm doing pretty good. So in 2 weeks time, I completed, so like this and then 2 more sections. So it's actually going faster than I thought. If I just put a couple hours in here and there, it just grows, and there's nothing hard about it. Just got to follow the lace pattern. But I really love lace knitting, and something like this is just so fun, where you do one lace section, then you get to the new section, and it's totally a new type of lace. So that's really fun. And then there is 12 garter stitch rows that border each side of the lace. So if you just want relaxing and not have to think about it, you have that too. So I really am enjoying this project. All right. I hope you're not getting tired of this next work in progress. This is my Wioletta sweater, Little Violet, by Vert and Rose, which I started in June, picked back up late August or maybe in September. I don't remember at this point. But since the last time, I have added a sleeve. So I have the right sleeve done, which I'm really happy about. And I hope you'll be able to see the texture on this cuff. It's almost like a smocking texture on the cuff. And it was definitely, I would say, a labor of love. I guess, because I do love this sweater. I want to love this sweater. But the cuff itself did take some time, not the ribbing, but what I would call the smocked stitches. But it's really cute, just pulls it in. I think it's a nice feminine detail on here. So this sweater is a cardigan, is a DK weight cardigan. I am using Drops Flora in the lemon color, is that right? Lemonade color. And the Drops Flora is a fingering weight yarn, so I'm holding two fingering weight yarns together, which is actually what the pattern designer did, and this is the exact color that she used. I have the second sleeve started. I worked on that some Sunday night and last night, so I think I'll be able to get that sleeve done really soon. I was talking in the last episode how I was concerned that I may run out of yarn, and after I finished this sleeve, which took almost two full balls of the yarn, I decided that I was going to order more. So I have ordered from Linda Hobby, which is a company in Denmark, and it looks like I think it was just $7.99 shipping, and then maybe I think like $2 for tariffs, possibly. I will share more when I get that order. But I thank you, Darcy of Chit Chat Knits. She reached out or in the comments and said that she had placed an order to Linda Hobby, and the tariffs, I think she said, were only $5 for her order that she placed. So that kind of gave me the confidence that I could order this yarn, because I don't know if I could find it very easily here in the States. But I had ordered the original yarn from Linda Hobby, and I'm hoping that it's the same dye lot or very, very close. But I want more, because I want more length in the body. And I currently have, let's see, this sleeve, this newest sleeve is attached to two new balls of yarn, and then I have two additional, which would get me some length, but then I wouldn't have enough for the button band. And it's a fairly wide button band, and it has scallops, so I wanted to make sure I had enough yarn for that. So I did place that order. It already has shipped, so we will see when it gets here. But I thought I could, finish those sleeves, and I will work on the length of the body until it comes, and then I can continue on, and maybe the yarn will get here before I'm even ready for it. But that is the status of my Wioletta. All right, I started a project that was on my what do I want to say? The video where I shared my ideas or patterns that I was thinking about for cozy fall, the cozy fall along. And one was the Hearthside Cowl by Christine Blue. This is a free pattern on her website, or you can pay for it on Ravelry. Crochet pattern. And I ordered yarn for it. I didn't order the yarn that the project was made in, but I ordered Premier Yarns Sweet Roll, and here is what it looks like. The color is honey lavender. I don't know how well it shows up, but this may look gray, but it's actually a very pale lavender, and then kind of a dusty rose, and then that tannish color is kind of it's almost like a blushy light oatmealish color. I don't know how to describe it, but it might look like light tan to you, and I think it looks different in different lights. So I worked on this one night, and here is the texture of the cowl, and it is a beautiful texture. It uses something called the spiked sedge stitch, which is very easy to execute if you know single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet, and how to read your stitches. It is very easy. So I worked on this for a while, and it was very fun to work on, but the fabric is not very drapey. The yarn says it is a 4, which is a worsted weight, but Ravelry classifies it as an Aran weight, and I would definitely say it's a very heavy worsted weight. And this is just too stiff of a fabric for me. So I thought, and I will say the yarn feels, it's an acrylic yarn, 100% acrylic yarn, and the yarn feels kind of plasticky to me, and that sounds kind of snobby because I do work with some acrylic yarns, but this one just does not have the best feel. So I was like, okay, I don't want to make this whole cowl that will kind of stand up on its own. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna look for maybe a baby blanket pattern and a knitting pattern, because knitting sometimes works a little better with those thicker yarns. So I started on, and I don't really know why I looked for a baby blanket. I think there are a lot of projects, blanket projects made with these rolls, like the hot cakes or yeah, things like that. So I did start a baby blanket with the second skein of yarn. So here's the second. I had 2 skeins for the cowl. So I can get a small blanket, I think 24 by 28 blanket with the 2 cakes of yarn. This is a pattern by Premier Yarns. It's the Sugarplum Blanket, and it calls for 2 skeins. Or let's see, there's 245 yards per each skein. And it just has a simple texture to it, so I don't have it very far. I definitely like the feel of it better in the blanket. It's knit on a size 9, and I don't know whether it is just the yarn that I'm not super crazy about, or the size of the needle I'm not super crazy about, because I generally make smaller or use smaller needles and smaller yarn, I guess. But I'm not super enjoying this project. So I don't know if I will work on this for a while. This might be a whip that gets tucked away, but I feel bad because I like the colors of this yarn. I was excited about making the cowl, and I actually ordered 2 other skeins. I don't know if I have them here. Yes, I do. I have 2 skeins in this color as well, which I think is so pretty. So this is the mulberry colorway. So I have a total of 4 skeins of this yarn that I bought that I'm not super crazy about, but I'm probably gonna keep going with this, but I don't have a baby to make it for at this point. This would probably just be a donation. So, or it could be a pet blanket too. It'd be an awfully pretty little pet blanket. So we'll see where that project comes, or how that project develops over time. But that's the saga of that. So I wanted to still share the Hearthside Cowl. It's a beautiful pattern, and I think with a drapier yarn, and I will say the yarn in the pattern was a wool acrylic blend, so that probably had something different to do with it. But I could use a different yarn with a wool nylon or something that has more drape to it for the cowl. So we'll see if this gets if this pattern gets revisited. But I really do like the pattern and the textured stitches. But now it is going to get frogged. So there is that project, which isn't really a project. I think that is it for my works in progress. Is that right? Let's see, I believe so. I should have said about my Downton cowl. I called it Downton because it was based on Downton Abbey, and it was a mini skein set from Ruby and Roses. I didn't share that, so there is that. All right, I have a couple of acquisitions, and one is this skein of yarn. My son Ryan, he lives in Texas. He has a girlfriend. I don't know, I don't think he watches this, so that's okay. He has a girlfriend, and he said he would like it if I knit her a pair of socks. So I sent a couple color choices for him to choose, because he kind of said what colors he liked for her. And I found this on Etsy. This is by Willow Cottage Yarns, who I have several of her yarns favorited on Etsy. Very beautiful. This is Tadpole. That's the colorway, Tadpole. And it's a 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. So that will be fun to work with a different sock blend. I've worked, I think with, no, I don't, BFL. I think I may have worked one time with BFL. But it'll be fun to do this. So I would like to get this done before Thanksgiving, because Ryan and his girlfriend Amber are coming home for Thanksgiving. So it would be nice to have that for her. So really pretty yarn. And then the other acquisition I have is I bought a yarn dyeing kit on Etsy. This is from Walnut Farm Designs. It was a natural solar dye kit, and it came with a natural skein of yarn and the dye materials to make it. So I chose cochineal, which is a pink, and I have since learned after doing some digging that cochineal is actually an insect, which kind of grosses me out, but that's okay. I am not a bug person. So cochineal, they are bugs that live on the prickly pear cacti, but they are known for their brilliant red, pink, and purple dye, or colors that you can get from the insect. And here is my skein of yarn that I dyed. So I will unwrap it here. It's not the tidiest, not the tidiest at all, but here is my skein. And if you've been here a while, you know pinks are absolutely my colors. So it is very, very pretty. So I did put it in this jar, and I will be putting some pictures in. I took a little bit of pictures, or a few pictures of the process, but I dyed it in this jar on top of my kitchen counter. And my kids came over for dinner, and my son looked at that, and he's like, "Are you making mead?" Which is kind of an alcohol, I think. So I'm like, "No, I'm dyeing yarn." And my husband, when he first saw it, thought it looked like a brain in a jar. So yeah. But it's just Carla trying to dye some yarn. So it was a really fun process. I chose a worsted weight, so you can choose to get the kit with or without yarn, but I chose a worsted weight yarn, and there are some different weights of yarn. So I plan to probably make a hat of some kind, and I haven't really done any digging yet for which hat I want to do, but I just wanted to share that yarn. I had a couple of days where I didn't have to teach piano down at the elementary school because the kids had 3 days off that week, which happened to fall on 2 of my piano days. So I was able to do some fun things. So this didn't take very long, but it's kind of cool to dye yarn. I have dyed yarn with acid dyes once for a pair of socks. I think I like the natural dyes, so you don't have to worry as much about inhaling the chemicals. So that is one of my acquisitions, and I do have another skein of yarn and colors to do another one. So I don't know if I will do that this fall or wait for sometime in the spring. We'll see, but I certainly will share it when I do it. It was really fun. So if you're at all interested in dyeing yarn, Very easy. Lots of directions to guide you along. Then check this out. I will link Walnut Farm Designs on Etsy. I will link that down below. Just a little bit of chatter. We got the boat out of the water last week and we cleaned it up this weekend. So the boat, yeah, we have a sailboat for those of you who are maybe new, and we keep it at a lake over the summer, which is about 25 minutes to a half hour from us, but it was time to take it out of the water. And so we did, and it's always a big process getting it out of the water, taking it down, and then cleaning it when we get home. So the boat is put away. And if you've been here a while, you may remember that I always make my husband Jeff pumpkin bars when the boat is down, or when the boat is put away. That's kind of like his consolation prize because he loves his boat. So I did make my pumpkin bars. So he has pumpkin bars right now, which he's enjoying. I have fall break coming up this weekend, Friday and Monday, from my job at the school, or at the college where I teach. So Jeff and I will be traveling to Duluth to visit his Aunt Gail, who I talked about before and shared projects I've made for her. She's the butterfly lady, so I've made the monarch hat and then monarch butterfly socks for her birthday. And I don't know if I reported on this back when, mid-September, but she absolutely loved the monarch butterfly socks, so that was really fun. I think that is it for today. I hope that you are all doing well, having fun with your knitting or crocheting or whatever craft you enjoy doing. I'd love to hear what you're working on, so if you'd like to share in the comments down below, that would be great. I would appreciate it if you like this video, and if you'd like to keep following along, please consider subscribing to this channel. Join us in our cozy fall along on Ravelry for all the cozy things that you might be making this fall. I will say goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.